Welcome back to Captain DLC Gaming. Today's methodology is, if you can't beat them, join them. You know what I'm talking about. Dimir Rogues. Lots of Dimir decks out there. I even went down to the casual play queue, not on ranked, and what did I find there? More Rogues. So, we're going to see if we can get some wins with a Rogues deck and fight fire with fire today. I pulled this deck list from CGB's video. Go check out his content. I'll put a link in the description below. I mentioned him a lot. If you're climbing the ladder and playing best of one, that's what he does best. And I've been pulling a lot of information from him. Go check him out. Give him a like and subscribe. So this deck is a update for me from the creature heavy, what was way back when Zendikar broke standard rogue deck with all of the creatures and Zarasan and all those funsies. So this one emphasizes a little bit more of the mill with the Ruin Crab, all the other usual suspects. I will mention Lull Mage's Domination, and another shout out to another content creator, Dev from the place, SBMTG Magic. Shout out to Ziggy. What's up, Cat? I'll put a link in the description to Dev's site. Quickly mention him. Back when Zendikar broke, I remember him doing a sleepers list of cards. And he talked about Lull Mage's Domination. If you had a blue deck, he was like, put this in there. And lo and behold, no surprise, we see Lull Mage's Domination in Dimir Rogues. So again, go check out his content, give him a like and subscribe. Other unique things in this deck I won't go too deep is Of One Mind. CGB's specifically put this in there. I haven't seen that in a lot of other decks that I've been playing against. I have one copy of Call of Death Dwellers just because I didn't want to cash in a wild card for the 4th Aghanim's Awakening. Otherwise, you know the deck, you know the usual suspects. So as we try to climb to platinum level, currently stuck in gold for a really long time. 1 step forward, 2 steps back with all the decks I've been playing. Let's see if we can get some wins, maybe find some decks that beat us as we're playing Rogues, and in that case, maybe identify some other decks that I want to play. So come along for the ride. Let's jump into the first game. We'll see you in there. 2 triumphs to start's a little slow. Blood Chief's Thirst early is good from a control standpoint, but with Rogues, I would rather have Rogues in my hand. We'll try this, though. I expect to draw into some creatures, so we'll start off with the Triumph. Probably looking at mono black here. And yeah, we'll play the other Triumph here. A little bit of a slow start for us. At some point I'm going to have to kill the Scorpion. Is now the time. Let's see what else they play. I might want to prioritize my removal. Let's take another turn to get a little bit more information. But for instance, the Fiend Artesian, a card I'm not as familiar with. +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard, so he gets Humongo. Sacrifice another creature, search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less, and put it into the battlefield. Then shuffle your library, activate this ability only anytime you would cast a sorcery. That's a card we want to be aware of. So let's go ahead and take care of that. And pass it. What else does mono black have to dish out? Veto. Let's go ahead and use Fabled Passage. Get a card in our graveyard here. We could draw into more action. Do that. Sorcery speed, draw into the locks. Not good yet. Opponent only has 1 card in their graveyard. Yeah, I think we can go ahead and take care of the Scorpion here. We'll take a big hit, but maybe that was a poor choice with Vito on the battlefield. All the way. Of course. Regret. Lots of regret. So we can steal something, converted mana cost 2 or less, so we can get the Artesian. Better than Scorpion right now. Let's do that. We're not doing much else right now. Every time I play Rogues, it is just fast action tearing me apart. I finally decide to play Rogues, and I get the slowest hand. Again, I might not be playing this out as best as I could. That's going to hurt a lot. Maybe I should try mono black. Seems to be a pretty efficient deck here. Yeah, Ayara. Sorry, adding more vowels into her name. Nothing but spells for us. Opponent with 3 cards in the graveyard, so we could take care of Ayara. That's probably the best thing that we have to do right now. Get a Wind Robber out. Hold up a Drown in the Lock. Spending a lot of resources here with pretty bad presence on the battlefield. One mana away from the activation on Vito. Vito will attack for 1. Sure. Down to 4. Not looking good for us on life total. Yep. That's a clock with the combo of Vito and Scorpion. Should have considered Drown in the Lock there, but we're pretty much toast anyways here. I think, yeah, especially if we're going to flood out on lands. We don't have enough cards in the graveyard to get into the story going. We're a ways away from that. 3 more cards. So I think we're gonna have to drown Vito and hope to survive. No creatures for us to get back with Agadeem's Awakening. Alright, sorry I forgot to silence my phone before the video started. Classic mistake. We'll take 2 down to 2. Opponent at 24. Nightmare Shepherd. That's a card. Another end of the story is good for us here. Let's go ahead and get rid of the Shepherd. Get in for 1. And pass the turn, see what the opponent does here. All spells graveyard. Fiend Artesian. I would really like to counter that spell. He's going to be a 7/7. And we just used our removal. Heartless Act wouldn't be good because it's going to be counters, I believe. So, yeah. We're going to have to draw into something. I do like the animation when the Fiend Artesian comes in. Well done, Wizards, on that. Okay, what do we see here? Alright, let's get the Enforcer in. Draw. Ruined Crab. Fabled Passage. Doing what we can. Fortunately, milled 3 lands there. We can only do Fabled Passage 1 more time. We're a ways from milling out the opponent for sure. Still don't have removal. So we're looking at a chump block situation. Oop, and we revealed the Woe Strider. And I think we end the turn there. Just a bit flooded on lands right now. So the Artesian not having trample is going to have to get through the Enforcer, and we're left up a Wind Robber just to be cautious at only 2 life. We can also use that as a... Well, that's unfortunate, but short, that happens. As a chump blocker if needed to draw a card. Interesting choice there. I think I would have taken out the Enforcer. So we'll take our opportunity here. Likely means the opponent has another one in hand. Timurat calls the dead. Okay. As long as we don't do veto, we're okay. Ish. Let's cycle. Hopefully draw into more action. Another crab. Not quite what we're looking for. Thought Thief is okay. So we can get back a crab and Enforcer. That's not a bad way to go. Oh, wait, we can't get both. Has to be different converted mana cost. Those are both 1. Play the crab. got the mana to do it. Field path. Get our last basic land. Thought Thief. Guess we're now on the mill plan. Got a ways to go there. 22 cards in the opponent's graveyard. So I'm holding back Aghanim's Awakening to see if they kill the Thought Thief, we get more value for it. Because right now we just either get an additional crab or we get the Enforcer. Enforcer is great if they get another Fiend Artesian out. So, ooh, Veto. That's a problem for us. Yeah, that means we're just dead. They can't pay to activate it, so we need removal. ASAP. So we're gonna stack Wind Robber to draw into a Wind Robber. Yeah, if they untap, we're toast. Domination or Drown in the Lock works. We could take Timoret, or we could take Veto. Yeah, let's do that. We'll play land. Play a Wind Robber. Go over top. And see what happens. Opponent of 15 cards. Wouldn't mind getting that other crab back. But everything's a 1-drop right now. Gray Merchant. Gotta drown that. Another Thought Thief. All the land, all the time. Opponent down to 12. Get in with the Robber and a Thought Thief. Wait, can we activate Veto? It's 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we can. Can't we? Sweet deal. That works well for us. Opponent down to 3 now. We've got the win next turn. So one of the things that I realized as we've been looking at this Aghanim's Awakening this entire game, and the opponent scoops it up. Oh, I kind of feel bad. It's so evil to play on this side with the Dimir Rogues. This is looking like a pretty keepable hand. We got the everyone's favorite Ruin Crab out early, which is a bit of a lightning rod. So I put in 1 copy of Call of the Death Dweller to supplement what would be Aghanim's Awakening. Make sure that we get our creatures back. So one awkward thing about this mana state is that we don't have blue, and we want blue. So unfortunately, we're going to use a Fable Passage to get blue, which is not a great start on the mill strategy, but we'll just go with it. And here we are in the mirror. And they mill away a Fabled Passage. Oh no, we just put that in there. Haha, I'm paying attention. Rune Crab. So we will get a crab out. No plan going. First one to the mill has the advantage. If we're being smart there, we could have used Agadine's Awakening, which would have been more efficient use of our manas. Instead, we give the opponent a look at being able to hit the crab, and here we will use the Awakening. Do we maximize? Let's maximize. See if we get punished for overextension here. Drown in the Lock right now for the opponent is at 5 already, so they're not looking too shabby there. But apparently they don't have it. Let's see, we want another blue source. We can End of the Story or Wind Robber is our option right now. So let's get in there. Now they can double block to take out the Enforcer. If we want to get greedy on damage, which I think we do. I'm willing to take out their board here. Doesn't look like the opponent's playing Loris. See if we see the double block on the Enforcer. And we do. So in this case, we will use End of the Story. Ooh, you're playing the Slitherwith version. Yeah, it's fun. Going for the damage race, which is honestly a faster race than the mill race. But we'll see how this turns out. Honestly, I feel a little bit better about playing in the mirror. Because if Rogues beats Rogues, I don't feel bad about beating Rogues with Rogues. Let's see here. Lots of new cards to play with. Really no good land action. What did we pick up? Another End of the Story. Or land at the bottom. Get a little organized here. Another Enforcer's good. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and play one of these with land trigger. I'd really like a way to kill the Slitherwisp here. I know I'm playing flashcards on my main phase, but again, trying to maximize mill here is kind of the goal. And the Wind Robbers don't have flash. Are you going to counterspell a Wind Robber? Pause from the opponent there. Drown in the Lock hits the bin for them. 2 Drown in the Locks in the bin. Okay, so likely 2 more to be played. And yeah, let's just go all out. I don't think anyone's playing sweepers in the Rogues deck. I hope that continues to be true. Yeah, and they'll borrow our one attacker. Save themselves a little bit of damage into the mill there. See what they do on their turn. Definitely broadcasting that we don't have counter magic in hand. With Into the Story in hand, I'm not worried about using the Triumph to draw. So let's just try to empty the opponent's hand as quickly as possible. Another Enforcer in. Yep. And the opponent scoops it up. So getting to the mill strategy faster than your opponent definitely ended up working well for us there. And our first Rogue on Rogues win. That's really what we were looking for today. And we were able to get it pretty early in the game. So definitely take that win. Two wins, 0 losses. We leveled up and got some prizes. Good record for us so far today. Oh my goodness. How's that for just the slowest hand ever? I think we can do better. I mean, it's got the Crab and the Thought Thief and the Drown in the Lock, but the mana base is horrendous. Yeah, this is much more keepable, but only 2 lands is once again slow and a bit of a bummer. So I think we have to keep it. I don't want to go down to 5, and we'll throw it Into the Story back and hope to draw into another one of those when we need it. And hey, there we go. Thieves Guild Enforcer, yeah, would be good. And then we have removal the next turn, so that's fine. I think it's better to go that way than play the slow land first, which seems counterintuitive. Yup. Fuse comes down. Now, the problem with what we're doing here is we are going to feed the ooze, but we have removal in hand, which is good. Didn't draw into a land, so we'll play the trial. And yeah, I think we get rid of the ooze now. We want to keep those cards in the opponent's graveyard, so let's not give them the opportunity to take any out. Ooh, mono green, I think, is what we're looking at. Yorvo, haven't seen him in a while. Missing a land drop here is actually going to be really, really not good for us. We're also not going to have any good blocks against Yorvo. Thank goodness we threw a Questing Beast to the bin. That's good for us. 5 card. No attacks. We're going to have to take some hits here. Beanstalk Giant's going to go get an additional land. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 turns away from a giant. Definitely going to need our removal package. So we can drown Yorvo here. I think the better play, though, is Blitz Crab. Save the passage. Crack it again. So make sure that we get up to the 8. We'll grab blue this time. Now we're where we want to be. Do we want to race with, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 2 turns away? I think we have to take a slower, steady approach here. I'm just gonna get in with the Thought Thief. Try to make our race about the mill, which is the slower plan. But at least we can threaten the death touch block with the Enforcer. Maybe I'll regret that later. Being able to get the opponent down to 13 is probably really good. We also got to keep an eye out for things like Kogla. I was thinking Great Hinge, but you know. To take 6 or not to take 6. Yeah, he's just gonna get bigger. Opponent has 14, so we can get rid of Kogla. Man, we really need a land. Yikes. We're in trouble. This is going to be a tough one to come back from. If they play an untapped land, which they do, we're probably seeing the Beanstalk Giant come down. Thorn Mammoth. Wow. Opponents stack their deck with fight creatures. Yeah, we need to make sure we hit a land drop here, or we're toast. Not the land drop I was looking for. But we'll have to take it. So, into the story, we take 6. Or we just take out the Mammoth. I think is what we're going to have to do here. It has trample, so I'd rather get it off the board and worry less about the giant. And the opponent's going to continue to throw haymakers. Yeah, Gigantosaurus. That's a problem. Chump Blocker is going to be handy. 16, we can't take that kind of damage, so... Agadeem's Awakening would be 3, 4, 5. We're 1 away from that. Oof. Wind Robber goes in, and we buy Loris. And hope to top deck land for Awakening next turn. Otherwise, we just throw it away. Yeah. Turn Timber Symbiosis. Oops. Block. Then activate ability. Awakening. Wow. Alright. That is untapped land. Yeah, we gotta go for it. We get the Enforcer and the Soaring Thought Thief. We block Yorvo and Gigantosaurus. Yikes. That's game. Give a good game to the opponent. We get crushed by mono green. That was a cool mono green deck. I enjoyed that immensely. If you're going to take a loss. Also, knowing that I'm the captain of the deck that is dominating the standard ladder right now, I'm okay taking a few losses from some decks. This is a keepable hand, a little slow on the mana. But we'll get Rune Crab out on turn 1 into the Triome. Maybe we will draw into another untapped land. Looks like we might be in a mirror match here, which means we have to be at our best in rogue play to out-rogue the rogues. And that's not a good start for us. So we'll play the Triome because we got nothing else doing, and send out the Wind Robber. Hateful Eidolon, or Hateful Eidolon. So we might be up against Mono Black with Loris. Interesting. We'll go ahead and get in there for 1 point of damage. Draw 1 card. Oh, yep. I know what we're up against here. Yeah, the Eidolon is enough of a key card. I think we go ahead and Thirst. Just get it out of the way. Definitely going to need to draw into some land here, otherwise we will be in trouble. Call the Death Dweller in our hand as a way to get back one of our 1-drop creatures. Now the crab shows up. With no land in sight. Kind of a problem. That's 2 missed land drops. I don't think we're going anywhere fast. So we'll play the crab because it's what we can. See if we lightning rod some more removal here. And hope to draw into our 3rd land. Otherwise, we're going to be toast real soon. Yep, another Thirst for the opponent. Eviscerated Scorpion. Finally, our 3rd land drop. Question is, do we go back and get a crab? Wind Robber doesn't seem like a good fetch here. We can only get 1 at this point. Let's Thought Thief, see if that draws more removal, and then we maybe get better value out of calling the Death Dweller. So we'll take 2 here from the Scorpion. See if the opponent has a veto to get out. Now, if they're going to buy Loris to hand, we'll play the Soaring Thought Thief. Wind Robber comes in. So the nice thing about Wind Robber is we can play it and hold up Drown in the Loch, which we're now at 7. Very slow start for us. We are definitely on our heels here, even though life total wise we're not doing too bad. Depending on what's in the opponent's hand, they're going to start getting a lot of value. Oh, yeah. I was too busy talking. We were supposed to drown there. And we will get majorly punished for that misplay. Yeah, Deadweight's going to come back in. Yeah, here I think we go ahead and snap off the Drown in the Loch. Better late than never, I guess. Take that value away for next turn. Turns on Soaring Thought Thief. Not much else doing. End of the story, we're 1 mana away, so we are still behind on resources. We can get a crab back or a Wind Robber. Again, the crab feels like the better play there, but without lands, that just isn't doing much. Domination, too slow. So I think we buy Loris here, and we just pass the turn, take the defensive stance. We're going to have to go into the long game if we're going to make it out of this one alive. Getting rid of Loris was a key play for us, but depends on what kind of action. Yep, call the Death Dweller. And the value train is back on for the opponent. And a Triome. We really wanted an untapped land. We'll use our own Call the Death Dweller here, and we'll get back the Thought Thief and a Ruin Crab. We'll put both the counters on the Thought Thief. The Crab's just going to sit by. We'll go ahead and play this out as a land. Get a little bit of mill action. So we are way behind on the mill plan. And the opponent's just going to continue to get value with Loris. Yep. And Euphemia hits the battlefield. They got all their value plays going. We can block a Scorpion. Doesn't really matter which one we block here. As long as it's not Loris. Yep. Deadweight's going to take care of that. And if the question was, what deck can pick apart Rogue? Granted, definitely a slow start for us, as we still don't have enough mana to do the things we need to do. It is the mono black enchantment deck, as we just get absolutely crushed here. And we'll go ahead and give the opponent the good game, scoop it on up. Not interested in playing out the next few turns, which is our inevitable end that game. And we take a step back, still maintaining gold tier 1, trying to get up to platinum. Let's play it back, see what we get matched up with here. I think the mono black deck is gaining in popularity. That is a deck that I think I've seen a little bit more. Haven't been playing a ton lately, but one that seems to be at least established itself as part of the meta on the ladder. And once again, we get a 2-land hand with a very slow start. 2 into the stories, 1 of mine, Drown the Lock and Ruin Crab. It's a risky keep. If we can get to the 3rd land drop, 1 of mine can keep us moving forward. But I think we mull this away just based on the heavy top end here. And this is a much better hand. But again, 2 lands, not in the colors we want. So maybe I take that back. I'm not going down to mull to 5. Do we come back from that? We can get the Enforcer out, so I'm going to keep this. I'm going to throw back into the story, and we are going to hope that the Shuffler is kind to us, and we can draw into a blue source. Alright, we'll flash in the Enforcer. White, green, and black on the Triome. No blue land for us. We'll go for the swing. Play the land. Pass the turn. I'm calling Island off the top of the deck. We'll see if it happens. Oh, and wouldn't you know, we're going to be up against the Shrine deck. I've yet to beat the Shrine deck in any deck that I happen to be playing when playing against the Shrine deck. So my expectations are low here, especially since we have a slow start without the mana resources that we really want. And removal's not going to do us any good because I have nothing that deals with enchantments. Yep, Shrine count 2. We draw into land. Let's play the crab, get the mill game going, I suppose, although I think that's going to be a bit slow. does turn on all of our other goodies. We'll go ahead and of one mind with the crab and the enforcer in play, get that on the cheap. And unfortunately, we are out of options for mana. 1 damage. Turn 4. Opponent at 17. 2 shrines in play. I don't imagine we're going to last that much longer in this game. Storm's Wrath clears the board. Serious lack of creatures here, so we'll play the Wind Robber because we can. How far are we away from cheapening our spell? 6 in the yard. We need 1 more in their yard. Definitely playing this for blue. We're not going to worry about the crab situation here. Let's buy Loris and pass the turn. We could have held back the land, I suppose, knowing that we have the opportunity to get crab on the next turn, but honestly I think I'm probably going for the enforcer and going for damage over mill in this situation. The trouble is they play the red shrine. Keeping bodies on the field is going to be really tough. Cycling, they go digging for more shrines. Seems a little bit of a misstep for the opponent in timing, leaving open mana, not finding the additional shrine. That gives us a chance to do something here. We'll play Loris. And due to mana, we will definitely bring up the crab here. Question is, do we save Academ's Awakening? We need 1 more swamp to do so, and only 1 creature. I think we go for the landfall trigger here, and we'll let that go. Okay, they tap the Wind Robber. They respect the 1 damage. And we will say go. I think in order to beat the Shrines deck, you definitely need a more explosive strategy, something a little quicker. And we see the alt art, Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Enjoy the art of that card. Don't enjoy playing against the flame. We're going to see a board wipe here, potentially. Well, actually, that's very interesting because they don't want to lose their shrine. So, we'll draw a card off of Wind Robber. Enforcer's not bad. They're willing to give up their shrines here. So this actually might turn out in our favor, because we're going to Thirst. Get Ugin out of the way. We'll pass the turn. See what they do. I really wouldn't mind having a counterspell here. Yep. So they go to rebuild, and no wonder they didn't care. They have the shrines in hand. We'll start with the Enforcer and just try to maximize the mill power that we'll be able to play out here. And yeah, we'll definitely take advantage while we can. This is where we wanted to be 5 turns ago. Definitely a bit of overextension on our part, but trying to get the hits in while we can. Hopefully they don't have another extinction event. Otherwise we'll lose both the Thought Thieves. Thirst comes in against the Enforcer. And Shattered Height. That is unfortunate. We'll be taking 3 damage each turn from here on out. I guess the opponent's out of resources in hand. So let's into the story, see what we see. They'll tap down one of the Thought Thieves. Drown in the Loch is a good pickup for us. Ooh, yeah, so we can afford to do this. So we'll play the Crab. Fabled Passage. Mill Plan activated. Crack the Fabled Passage. Get a blue source. Hold up Drown in the Loch. Swing in with 1 Thought Thief if we're allowed to do so. Get double triggers. Pass the turn. 15 cards in hand or in library for the opponent. We could get there, maybe. Definitely not letting them wipe the board here. Counter the Storm's Wrath. It's nice to be playing against the opponent with only 1 card in hand, so we know that there's no backlash on the counterspell. And let's play the Vantress. Get the trigger. They'll tap down the Thief. Sure. And they have enough to tap both down. That is unfortunate. Not much we can do there. Let's go ahead and into the story. Yep. Play another Crab. Then I think ultimately the Enforcer's coming in. But we'll wait and get in more information. Opponent down to 11 cards. See what they drew off the top of the deck. Hopefully it's not a draw spell. Or the blue. Shatter the Sky. That's a problem. Yeah, we're gonna have to let that fall. We can't draw it into removal at this point. Hopefully we draw into another rogue here. Opponent goes down to 9 cards. There's the Drown in the Loch that we wanted. Cycle a Triome. They're just going to tap down the Enforcer to not take damage. Ooh. Oh, it's only creature. If it was permanent, we could take out one of the shrines. That's not going to happen. Yep, let's pass the turn. We've got tools in hand. Unfortunately, we've got nothing to activate the mill trigger. So, gives the opponent a chance here. And we will drown that. Cycle and hope for something really good. Actually, we should have considered letting that happen. We would have lost the Enforcer, but we could have stolen the... Well, Giant, that would have been stupid expensive. Never mind. We made the right decision. More land is not what we need right now. This is going to grind out slowly. Alright, opponent, we know you're going to tap it down. Just go for it. No sense in playing lands right now, honestly, unless we get another crab and try to go for the final mill. Opponent at 7 cards in library. Thirst. No counterspell for that. Sure. Slow and grindy. Thought Thief a little too late. We actually really wanted to draw a crab. See how many are in the bin here. Just 2, so there's 2 more to get. Opponent's not going to do anything. We'll try to flash in the Thought Thief. Call of Death Dweller is good for us. That should be game right there. If the opponent can't kill one of the crabs, then we will mill them out. As long as we have a fetchable land. And there's the scoop from the Shrines deck. And finally, achieved victory against the Shrine deck. Granted, both had a slow start, but the Shrine deck definitely stalled out there. I mean, typically they've got all 5 shrines out much earlier in the game, and we were able to eke out that win slowly and surely in the end game there with the mill plan. I'll take the victory, however. At least it's 3 lands, but still not the aggressive start that I would want. But it is keepable, and we go first. Opponent making tough decisions. I get it, man. Nobody wants to scry. Mulligan. I mean, if only you were guaranteed a better hand when you took your first mulligan. It would make that decision so much easier. Opponent on the rope already. I recommend... Wow. Red Mage. Really? Really? It would be, wouldn't it? It'd be nice to have a crab here. Honestly, we're not looking too bad. I think the Enforcer, we need time to get that online. Thought Thief can take out the champion. So let's see if we can flash that in. Drown in the Lock is useless until we get the Enforcer in. That's a problem. So here I think we just go for the Heartless Act. Technically we could still block one with the Thought Thief. But I think we go for that plan next turn. So we'll still take one because it's a hasty creature. Ever so hasty. Opponent has 3 open mana, so anything is possible here. We will try to block the champion. See if they pump it up. Yep. We'll try to maximize the mill here, so we'll go ahead and play Enforcer main phase into Wind Robber. And we will go fetch and swamp. Two cards away from activating the static ability of the Guild Enforcer. One card away from activated ability for the Wind Robber. I know these mono red decks take a lot of tough decisions to play, so we will sit patiently while our opponent rogues out and decides to play Annex. Surprise, surprise. That'll get countered. So if we block the charger, we lose both creatures. So we take the hit here. Into the Story is going to take all our mana. At least get to 8. And instance in hand will make the decision on the opponent's turn. Hellhound, I accept. Interesting that they would go main phase 1 with that. Sure. So they know they can get in with the charger. And that gives us the opportunity to play Into the Story. There's nothing left for you to play in main phase 2. Yes. Yes, it is my turn. Thank you for finally noticing. Ooh, low mage domination would be super great. We need another blue source. Let's try to find one. Man, serious lack of land. How do we want to play this? Do we want to hold up Drown in the Lock? I think we go with the Crab. The Awakening. We'll swing both. Yes, I am attacking you. Opponent's going to rope out, confused by the attack. Thundering Rebuke hits the bin. It's good for us. And the opponent's going to continue to rope. Unfortunately, Annex joins the group. Another Drown in the Lock is good for us here. Play the Wind Robber, double trigger the Enforcer. Get rid of Apex. Or Annex, sorry, looks like a P. Annex, Apex. Apex Predator. Yep, so they'll get a 1-1. We'll get in with an Enforcer and a Robber. Opponent down to 11. And we'll pass the turn. Opponent pulling in some tech from the Goblin deck with Tin Street Cadet. The opponent is, of course, in range for the cleave. And an all-out attack makes me believe that the cleave is likely on its way in. So if it hits the Hellhound, we'll take 6 down to 5. So I'll block like this and see if the token gets the cleave. Infuriate goes to the charger. That's fine because we're just going to sacrifice the Wind Robber anyways. Down to 9. I think we want to get Loris out. That at least leaves us the option of drowning the lock. Let's do that. Kind of taking a turn off here. But we'll take a defensive stance here. Got a ways to go on the mill plan. Oh, all of that, and the opponent was just had a land. That's unfortunate. Yeah, let's draw. Okay, so still struggling for land here. We get a Triome, which is better than nothing. We can lure us and get a Enforcer and try to apply some pressure. We could double crab and start going for the mill. I guess we can technically do both. Gives us our third blue source. Let's see, we want black, black, blue. Swing in with one Enforcer. I expect to see a double block here from the token. Nope. Okay. Alright, got a little bit played there. That's fine. Pass the turn holding up Drown in the Lock, knowing that we have of one mine next turn called Death Dwellers. Are we worried about Fervent Champion? I think we can let that resolve. Good game from the opponent, and slowly but surely, we take out Mono Red. If there is a deck that I don't mind beating up on with the Rogues deck, Mono Red is the case. Elim, classy opponent. Thank you for the good game and polite end. Best of luck in your future matches as a red mage. And that's going to be it for us tonight. Thank you for joining us. I hope that you enjoyed the gameplay, whether you're on the rogue side or against the rogue side. We will see you next time in the arena. Catch you on the flip side.